tuned in to Real Truth and Power, the show that uplifts the community with health, wealth, and knowledge of self. Here's your host, Everett Winchester.
What up, family? What up? Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Hotep, assalamu alaikum. You know the deal. Man, it's been a long time since I did the podcast. I know a lot of you guys have been asking, yo, brother Everett, get on there and do your podcast again. But I've been so busy, being a president and a minister of information for the UNIA and president of Baltimore. It's a challenge. It's like kind of being a It's like kind of being a what's the word I want to say? A pastor for a church, except when you're a division president, you're like the pastor for the whole city and the state and things of that nature. But thank you guys for encouraging me to keep pushing the podcast. I had a little time, and I wanted to discuss a very important topic, and I've been posting it on Facebook all week. What's going on with the youth in our community? And that's something that's very serious right now because it's getting hot and it's going to be a lot of these young people wilding out in these streets. And what's the solution? But before we get started, I need y'all, if you're online, I need you to do me a favor real quick. While we're getting started and we letting people tune in, I need y'all to do me this favor. Hit that like button. If you're on Facebook,
smash it now!
Smash that joint. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Also, Real Truth and Power on YouTube. Also, do me another favor, if you can. Subscribe. So, we need all of this to hit the algorithm so people can know that we are here, so people can know that we are doing the job of uplifting our people. So let me introduce the show. Welcome to Real Truth and Power Live, where we provide health, wealth, and knowledge of self. My name is Brother Everett. We have a powerful topic. But before I get into that, we're also streaming on since it's been a while, we're also streaming on a new outlet, the UNIA outlet, y'all. We're streaming on UNIARockMedia.com. So if you can't get us on Facebook, if you can't get us on YouTube, you can definitely get us on UNIARockMedia.com. And I got a serious guest coming up in around 45 minutes. I got the leader of the UNIA. I got the President General, the 10th successor to Marcus Garvey, the 11th President General of the UNIA. And we're going to talk about this youth problem, talk about a grocery store, talk about a whole bunch of things like that. Before we get started, I see everybody coming into the room. I'm going to go to a quick commercial break. We got to pay the bills, and then we'll be right back, and I'll discuss the first topic we're going to be talking about. Race first, family, and check this out. Get yourself used to this. We're going to be showing a lot of UNI businesses. Here we go.
I used to think vacations meant white sand and pool drinks, until I realized I was skipping my story. I've got 10 days to reconnect with my roots, or spend another year feeling like a tourist in my own identity. So I booked with Black Star Travel. They don't do tours, they build homecomings. Real connection, real culture, no filters. I thought I'd be the outsider, but the moment I stepped off that plane, I felt seen. They weren't just places, they were pieces of me I never knew I lost. Travel with purpose, travel with pride, travel with Black Star.
All right, family, blackstartravel.net. All of those proceeds go to the Baltimore UNIA's building fund. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. The first topic is about the youth. So while everybody's getting in the building, I want to play like about a 7-8 minute video. Be patient because I'm going to need you guys to come in and respond. I see the comments are popping in. I see the like buttons popping in, and I'll get to those in a second as well. But let's check out this video about what's going on in Baltimore City. Of course, it's different news outlets because I know a lot of you guys hate Fox. But let me get into the video real quick, and we can comment on it as we go. And then I'll do a little comment. And then I want to send a link to invite you guys in to speak about the problem. As you know, they're trying to close a school in Baltimore, the Collegiate School for Boys. And these boys, I believe they were taking on trips to Africa. I believe they were, nurturing these young men, and they want to close it. So we want to talk about that as well. And that's one of the things we want to talk about. But let's get into this video real quick, family.
Well, a Baltimore teenager, repeat offender, released again following his arrest on Tuesday. Baltimore police arrested the 14-year-old for failure to appear in connection to a robbery last year. Our Casey Baylor live on your corner in North Baltimore tonight. And Casey, police say this teenager is well known to them.
Hold on, family. Let me remind you. They just said the teenager was well known to them, and he's only 14.
Rick, Baltimore police say that 14-year-old boy has had 10 prior arrests. They're also for theft, robbery, assault, as well as failing to appear. Meanwhile, city officials say this case highlights a constant cycle that's happening here in the city that they're working to break.
Kids out here getting into so much trouble.
It's happening too frequently. Something needs to change.
Change in Leetta Good's neighborhood and across the city of Baltimore. Good says it's common in her area to see young people get in trouble while wearing an electronic monitoring system.
Before you know it, they were right back out here doing the same thing, and it scares me.
Baltimore police say officers arrested a teen Tuesday on Good Street, Kirk Avenue, on an open warrant.
We've seen him come this way.
Authorities say they arrested him for failing to appear in reference to a 2025 robbery. They took him to the Juvenile Justice Center, but a judge later released him on electronic monitoring again.
14,
they say they can't get away with this time. And the next time.
Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley says officers have apprehended this person repeatedly, and they have communicated with the Department of Juvenile Services and law enforcement partners on his behavior. In a statement, he said, quote, "While we respect the judicial process, releasing individuals with this level of repeated criminal behavior raises serious public safety concerns." Mayor Brandon Scott also weighed in, saying in part, quote, "We have to be able to hold young people accountable when they continue to break the law again and again, especially in cases where violence is involved."
I don't want to see the kid in jail, or any kid in jail really, but their behavior and actions, calls for some type of punishment.
Meanwhile, Melvin Wilson Jr. highlights the importance of having mentors and recreation centers for young people.
It gives the kids a positive outlet. There's a lot of things in these streets that kids see that they shouldn't see.
Baltimore State's Attorney Ivan Bates says he had recommended the teen be detained based on his pattern. We also reached out to the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services for comment. We're waiting to hear back. Reporting live on your corner.
Warm weather returns, so do issues with young people in crime. It's drawing juveniles to city streets and leading to disturbances downtown. From large fights and gunfire to repeat offenders back on the streets, Fox 45's Rebecca Pryor pressing city leaders on what's fueling the trend and what's being done to stop it.
I'm in ShopRite, so.
It starts with a crowd and too often ends in chaos. In downtown Baltimore City, a troubling pattern playing out.
We got a big group starting to circle up. I think they might start to fight. Yep, there you go. The fight's begun.
On Sunday, Baltimore police arresting 7 juveniles ranging from 12 to 17 years old with crimes from assault to attempted robbery. Police warning the large gatherings being promoted on socials as teen link-ups. A week prior, gunshots ringing out following a link-up at the Inner Harbor. Then on Tuesday, dozens of dirt bikes and ATVs taking over the same area.
No, they're terrorizing.
Also Tuesday, a 14-year-old, well known to police, arrested again. Police saying they've been arrested 10 times before and yet were once again released on an ankle monitor.
I don't like the fact that we're arresting more kids. That's the opposite direction I want to go.
Now, hold on, family. Let me just say that the young, I'm assuming it's a young child, a boy, was arrested 10 times already. Let that sink in real quick.
At a recent press conference, tied to the arrest of 3 14-year-olds accused of hitting a police officer in a stolen car, Commissioner Richard Worley calling for more accountability.
Already this year, I've seen, I think it's 3 young people have been killed, and they've been killed at the hands of probably other young people.
Worley stressing juvenile shootings, carjackings, robberies, and gun possessions all on the rise this year.
And we've got to change that.
Now taking those calls for change directly to those with the power to make it happen. Fox 45 sending questions to the mayor's office, council president, and 14 city council members asking, how concerned are you about rising juvenile crime? What's currently being done to slow the surge? And do you believe a lack of consequences is a contributing factor? If so, what action will you take to address it? But so far, no responses as juvenile crime continues to climb.
Now, before I go to the next video, family, let this sink in real quick. These are the same officials that are not responding to the all-black boys collegiate school for boys that's closing. The school that promotes boys, helps them have pride in themselves, helps them get to college. Let that sink in.
3 teens were arrested after allegedly hitting a Baltimore police officer with a stolen car in the area of West Lombard Street. Last week, the parent of the 14-year-old driver was also charged in the crime. Several neighbors also brought up smoke shops illegally selling THC products and the activity surrounding them.
There's a lot more going on than just vapes and marijuana and whatnot.
Executive Director of Maryland's Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission, Jeffrey Kelly, said the commission has been able to conduct more raids after the state closed a loophole in 2025, banning smoke shops from selling THC products, especially those marketed to kids.
We're here now. We think, the tools to start making a difference. I'm going to ask you to give us information that guides us in the right direction.
We're working with our partners up here because we want to make sure you're right. We make sure that neighborhoods are for our families and our children.
Law enforcement expert Jason Johnson reacting to a second weekend in a row of unrest in and around the Inner Harbor. 2 weekends ago, a large disturbance near the Science Center ended in shots fired.
Pratt Light.
100 Fox. What do you put the numbers at for that group?
For that group, I'd say at least 40, 45 or so.
And dispatch audio from last weekend captured police responding to another massive gathering that BPD later confirmed was promoted on social media as a
communities looking for accountability and solutions after several violent.
Hold that thought real quick. We're going to talk about that as well. I know a lot of people in Baltimore know, but those that are not in Baltimore, the youth get on social media. They call them meetups or what have you. They might meet at a mall, meet at a school, something like that. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
Crimes involving young people with guns, including the recent carjacking of a pastor in Upper Fells Point. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren live where that incident unfolded last week with new information on one of the suspects. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Rick. 3 teenagers were involved in the carjacking here where the victim fought back. Now, one of them just turned 20 years old today, and he was set to stand trial today on an unrelated assault charge in Baltimore County. These are just some of the recent violent incidents in Maryland involving juveniles captured on camera.
It's like they don't have a care for anything except for themselves. So something needs to be done.
Over the past month, Baltimore police have detained children as young as 10 years old.
To me, it does not matter if you are 12. It does not matter if you are 55. We have to be able to not just arrest you when you commit a crime like that, but also make sure that you're held accountable.
My prayer today is...
Almost finished this video, family, but let that sink in. They're arresting our youth. I'm not saying the youth aren't doing anything wrong, but what else are they going to do now? The mayor basically saying we got to go to the next level. So you're talking about, I mean, I think in one of these videos, the kid was like 10, 11 years old. We're getting them in the system at an early age.
God, thank you for covering me. Thank you for my life.
Pastor Kenneth Moles Jr. has his Audi back in Bridgeport, Connecticut, 10 days after he was carjacked in it at gunpoint on Pratt Street and Upper Fells Point while visiting Baltimore. Video WJZ obtained shows an armed 16-year-old approach him.
I size him up like I can take this guy. But again,
Now, the pastor said he sized the young brother up with a gun. Pastor not trying to lose that Audi, y'all.
and he has his gun pointed to my chest. It don't take that long to kill somebody.
Moles gets out of the car and fights back. After wrestling on the ground, the teen gets away. He picks up the gun and gets in the Audi. It's all over in less than 2 minutes.
I want to be a part of the trial. I want to testify against him, and ask the judge, give him mercy.
Charging documents WJZ obtained show Makai Tyndall, who's turning 20 today, was found inside the passenger seat of the pastor's car. Police also found car keys belonging to different vehicles in his backpack.
I love Baltimore. I don't view Baltimore outside of the light of the epidemic of all urban communities.
Police report other recent incidents that include 4 juveniles, one just 10 years old, who fled in a stolen vehicle after assaulting a man on Northern Parkway July 5th. A 14-year-old among 4 juveniles involved in a carjacking in Reservoir Hill. 3 of the 4 had prior records. Police recovered this gun. This carjacking caught on camera in Hamden July 1st. 3 of the 5 juveniles involved wore ankle monitors. A 14-year-old on GPS monitoring.
We about to stop, y'all, but listen to the ages. One was 10 in a stolen car. I don't think on this incident, none of them was over 14.
On a crime spree June 22nd in Northeast Baltimore. And 2 days ago, police searched for teens after an armed robbery in Remington.
Was home with a handgun.
Maybe we can develop different sort of interventions over time that will help that young person, but we're going to dig very deeply into that population and see what we do need to do differently.
And that was part of our recent interview with the state's acting juvenile services secretary. Now, the pastor who was carjacked here says the city paid for a night in the hotel and also his train ticket back to Connecticut. He says he forgives the 16-year-old who carjacked him.
Wow, shout out to the pastor. He was trying to hold on to that Audi. You know, church ties or something. But if I strongly suggest, you know, by us being in Baltimore or anything, or any city, if you see or notice someone with a gun, don't try to fight them, no matter what age, because those are things that can happen. But this is really sad, y'all. So let me get back to it. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Again, if you're not catching us on YouTube, if you're not catching us on YouTube, Real Truth and Power, if you're not on Facebook and on Instagram, definitely go to UNIA Rock Media. It's a website owned by the UNIA. We stream our own material, and we're trying to build that platform up really strong. So definitely check us out, uniarockmedia.com. So I'm going to be dropping the link. I don't know if you guys can see it in the chat, but I'm going to go through a couple of your comments real quick. So make sure I don't get too backed up. Let me try to edit this real quick. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Sister Tanya, 23 experience. Peace to the family. I want to invite you to my podcast so we can build on this topic I am discussing as well. Sister Tanya, whenever you need me, I am there. As a president and minister of information of the UNIA, it is my goal to serve. So whenever we can talk about important information, I definitely got you covered. And thank you for the invite. We go here. We can schedule anytime. Definitely hit me up, Everett at unia106.org. I'm sorry, Everett at 106.org. I think that's the email. I put my contact information in there again, though, but I appreciate you. See what else we got going on before we get to it. To our Sergeant at Arms, Race First, Tony Culture, Baltimore Sergeant at Arms, and Honorary Colonel of the African Legion. Race First, good brother. Thank you, Brother Bill. Thank you. We up here trying to grind and get the podcast back. So I appreciate you. And if you guys don't feel comfortable calling in, get your comments up there and we can build off of your comments. So this is open for everybody. Sergeant at Arms says Fox is never objective. I agree with you, Culture. But But like I said, that's why I didn't only just play Fox. I played some other television outlets. Thank you for that. It's Black adults' betrayal by any other name, and it's a national crisis. There will never be a political solution for a spiritual, cultural crisis. Well, I got a solution for you. It's called the UNIA. But Shanuti, I hope I pronounced your name right. Please call in. Please call in. Or go to the link. Let's see. Here is the link. And I put it in the chat. So hopefully you guys can come up soon in a minute. We want to hear from you. All you have to do is click that link and join. All you have to do is click that link and join. And I'm hoping to build because we want to have a powerful, powerful discussion. Cindy Camp, we need more community involvement. I agree, my queen. I definitely agree. Community involvement is the key. And I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. So please click that link. I'm putting it in the chat again. And hopefully you guys, I know it's our first show, but hopefully you guys can tune in and be a part of the discussion. Be a part of the discussion. I'm actually going to go send it out to a couple of texts. So we're going to pay a quick bill. Stay tuned because I know this discussion is going to be powerful. And again, at 8:45, we're going to hear of the leader of the UNIA, the 10th successor to Marcus Garvey. So let's check out a couple of paying bills videos and please join in and I can get you guys into the discussion via video.
Used to think nature was a lie. Baltimore don't have forests, just corner stores and concrete. But then I heard UNIA hikes every Sunday. I thought, what if I just show up? I gotta reach that ridge before sundown or miss the moment that's waking my whole spirit up. Bro, it's not just trees, it's legacy. Elders dropping Garvey wisdom while we climb, youth beating drums, sisters laughing under waterfalls. We see hawks, foxes, fire in the sky. City stress, gone. Every Sunday we reclaim the wild like it's our birthright. First time I touched river water, I cried. This ain't no hike, this is revival. Every step, we get louder. Every week, more of us come. This is Marcus Garvey's army in hiking boots. Black unity, in motion. Now I don't walk alone. I lead the line. Dwayne, UNIA. Follow for more and come hike with your people. Sundays, Baltimore. Marcus Garvey's UNIA.
Well, a Baltimore teenager, repeat offender, released again following his arrest on...
A boy dead on the street last week. Not from drugs, from violence. Nobody stand up, nobody move. Me got 6 weeks we build 100 man. Or Baltimore lose its soul. Back in the day, we protect we own. Now, enough talk, enough post. But Garvey, him leave with a blueprint. Stand up, uniform, discipline, unity. African Legion, it not dead. It a prophecy waiting for fulfill. Ma nearly walk away, tired, alone. But when that mother grab me arm and say, who I go protect my son? Me know, we not start no war, we restore order. Black unity, black honor, black discipline. This a we army, and it never left. Me name, Brother Tony. Join the Baltimore UNIA. Be the legacy or be the silence.
All right, family, if you're in the Baltimore area, you know I got to pay my bills. We go hiking on Sundays. Bring the youth, bring the kids. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about things like that. Keep these kids off the street. And also the African Legion. You know, if you're in need of help, security, whatever, definitely give us a call. We're serious. We take protecting our community serious. And when you hear from our President General, he'll talk. I see we got somebody in the guest room, so hold tight. I'm going to get these comments out the way because I don't want to be stacked up. Let's see who we got. Peace and blessings, Dr. Daw, Dr. Asar Winkler. Feel free to join in, brother, because I love your comment on this particular topic about the youth. Marvin Cole, thanks, brother. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to get on that link, you can. I see a bunch of y'all on Facebook, so if you're not seeing the link, I'm gonna jump on there real quick and put it in. While I get brother Ori, I believe, is in the thing. And the whatchamacallit. I still okay. Cynthia says I'm not seeing the link. You're on Facebook. I'm about to put it up. Let me do this though real quick. Maybe you guys can type it in, but I'm definitely going to put it in the link. Hold on one second. Give me a minute. Let me get through all of these and I get that link up to you. Atlanta in the house. UNIA Atlanta. Shout out to President John and Commissioner Brother John from the Atlanta Division. Race first, good brother. This is the link, but I'm going to put it into the post. Brother Bill, what you talking about? Whoa, that's a big one. I'm listening, and the truth is there's much to speak about. We speak about so much injustice. Let me get this a little smaller. Whoa, there we go. We speak about so much injustices. We have to look at the system that it plays both sides. Our greatest challenge is our inability to get unified as we should, I say. Until we get unification, we will have these issues. Just think about it. The guy sitting in the White House is a rapist. Oh my. He organizes people to storm the Capitol. He has 34 felonies, yet do you hear from our leaders speaking on evil from the Oval Office? It is our unity that will, okay, sorry, I was kind of blanking here. It's our unity that will stop much from this from happening, I think. When will you talk about the boys' school? We are at the mercy of the political. I'm about to talk about that now, Brother Bill, because I think that boys' school is very important. And I'm going to bring on a guest right now, the first one we have. My brother Ori, race first, good brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, peace. How you doing, Brother Everett?
I got you. While I'm talking to you, I'm going to put this into our Facebook chat. I guess some people couldn't tune in. But that video, what did you think about that video? It's shocking. And then go in a little bit.
Yeah, the 14-year-old, I think he was actually arrested on Kirk Avenue. And that's ironic because that's where the collegiate school for boys is located. And so he should have been in there, really, or probably a recent graduate. But the problem that we're having with juveniles, it's not new, right? It really dates back to the 19th century for Black youth in particular, who are always exploited in these so-called juvenile facilities, you see. But fast forwarding to the 20th century, and we talked about thug life somewhat. We never really explored what thug life was all about. But the last two letters is like forget everybody. And I'm being, polite, but it says forget everybody. And that includes me, my mother, just everybody. This is what the youth are saying. And I think I heard you read from the chat that their condition is because of our failure as their predecessors. Like we didn't do the proper nurturing. And so now they're lashing out. And it's justified in a particular context. And we have to do the work to turn these things around, like you guys going hiking, and we have the egg bays doing rites of passage. We have the school where they're learning martial arts with LOSI, and these are the kind of contributing factors that can turn this thing around. But like was also said, we need this kind of unity effort first, so that we can coordinate these activities with our youth. But any problem that we have is solvable. The thing is, we have to be committed. We have to be committed We have to have the right people in place, and we have to be ready to execute. My total day now is spent surrounding the Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys. And I'm saying we cannot close the school. We cannot allow them to close the school. Um, they talk about the vote that was supposed to be 6-4 and 1 to close. But in actuality, it's only 10 people that votes on the board. So I don't know where that one that was supposed to have been abstaining, I don't know where that came from. Dr. Sandalitas, I don't think she votes at all on that particular issue. So really, the appeal was kicked back to Baltimore City. And so I'm thinking that the same board that voted to close collegiate school the first time around has the opportunity to keep it open this time. And all we need is one person from their 6 to join the 4 to make it 5-5, and then the school stays open. Now we're scheduled to go to Annapolis on Monday to talk to some of the state representatives. And that's fine because I'll do whatever it takes. And I know it's going to be a lot of different avenues and just trying to support them all. But I really like trying to unpack this whole idea in terms of the appeal and our possibilities in the appeal. I'm not conceding until this thing is done. And when it is done, I'm looking for victory for the boys, because if we allow uh, them to close the Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys, and I know we like to be professional and cordial when we have these conversations, but if we allow them to close the school, then we're contributing. And it's not even inadvertent; it's directly and it's blatant to this whole idea of thug life, which is real, because it's a matter of failure at the front end for these youngsters, and not when they became teens, but in infancy. You see, so we accept the responsibility to turn this thing around and to explore ideas that may not be traditional and to use a different kind of language. You see, because problems that we're having with our teens, the issues we're having with our teens, it can be solved, but it's going to take a dedicated group of people. Everybody, I guess, in the city that reads myself on Facebook know that I support the mayor and the governor. But to allow these two brothers, if these two brothers allow the Baltimore Collegiate School for Boys, not even about the closure, but to allow this thing to continue on,
Right.
it's not good. And in terms of elected officials, we have to start speaking in a language that they understand. That if you allow these things to continue to happen with collegiate, we're not going to vote for you. We're not going to support you. We may have to openly campaign against you. Because what we're talking about ultimately is 300 and something boys being evicted from their matriculation process, you see, which would contribute to what your opening was all about. And that's the delinquency with our youth. But I'm telling you, man, for me, that's nothing new. It's part of
Brother Ori, I lost you. So if you can jump back in, because I wanted to ask you some things about the school. And again, remember, we got a special guest coming in, the leader of the UNIA, the 10th successor to Marcus Garvey. You guys know the convention is coming up. And so I'll wait for Brother Ori. Hopefully he can jump back in. And that's one of the things about that school. Got you. That's one of the things about that school. I got another guest popping in. Let me see where we at. And I get right back to you, Brother Ori, if you're still in there. You there, good brother? Fire, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Blessings, race first.
Race first. So go ahead and speak on the topic a little bit. I know that that's an important topic for you. Talk about the topic, about our youth, and introduce yourself to the people, by the way.
All right, blessings everyone. I'm Dwayne Fire Page, second vice of the UNIA Baltimore division, and I'm actually in charge of the youth department of the 106 Baltimore division. So this is kind of near and dear to my heart when dealing with the children of Baltimore. But is of my mindset that the children are acting out basically the way that the system, is designed to make them act out. It's like our community has been beaten for years and years and years with, loss of jobs, with drugs, with guns. I mean, it's countless things that you can say that's hit out cities and basically cities across the nation. And it's a purposeful thing. Like, these things are designed to destroy Black youth, destroy Black families, tear them apart, to keep us in a situation where we are dependent, to keep us in this Babylonian system. And it's our job as UNIA members and leaders to show the people the to basically show them the lessons that Mr. Garvey and others has left, and basically to build up a nation, to strengthen those that we see that are in need of strength. To like they say, they close all the recreation centers in Baltimore, so we have to provide a place for the youth to go, provide things for them to do. It's our job to lift up our. The enemy is not going to lift up our youth. They're going to do what you saw them doing in those videos. They're going to demonize them, and they're going to go after them. Even the mayor, he said, we got to go after them, arrest them as young as 10 or whatever. And it's our job to correct that as much as we can. So that's how I feel about it.
Before you roll, Brother Fire, first of all, your camera isn't on, correct? Because I want to make sure my studio working right. You just speaking without no. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, just talk about some of the things we have been doing in Baltimore with the youth, and I can let you go.
So we have a hike that the youth are welcome, parents and youth, but it's always fun when the youth come out. They make the hike, what it is. So we have a hike that goes on every other Sunday at Leakin Park. If you need it, you can just go to the UNIA website, or you can just link me even. And we have a program that we just started. It was kind of like our pilot program to develop our youth program more. So we had youth come in from the inner city. We taught them how to plant seeds. We taught them about wellness. We taught them about the meanings of the principles of Mott. We taught them how to meditate, to express themselves through dance, to express themselves through karate. It's it's many different facets that we try to involve the youth, because you can't come at them one way. You got to try to catch them any kind of way you can. So you throw as many seeds out as you can. And, and you pick up some here, you pick up some there, And we also have members of the UNIA 106 that has their own individual programs and that's doing stuff with the youth also. We have a program called FEET. Our sisters doing that with the youth. We have, what's the other program the sisters doing? But nevertheless,
we've been grinding. Yeah, we've been grinding. And I would just want to thank you and appreciate you for being a strong, solid member of the UNIA and, putting in the work in the community, because these are the type of things that keep our youth out of trouble instead of instead of hanging out like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good brother Fire. I'll talk to you soon. Race first.
Sir, race first. Give thanks.
Give thanks. All right, family. We got a special guest in the building. Brother Ori, stay on. I think you might have dropped off. But we got a special guest in the building. It's always a privilege and honor when we bring what I call royalty into the building. I am bringing in the 10th successor to Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Michael Duncan. But before I do that, hold on. It wouldn't be right unless I played this of some of the things we're doing in the UNIA. Hold tight, family.
What is the ROC? The FACA ROC, the Federation of African, Caribbean, American Restaurant Owners Corporation.
Welcome to the ROC, brothers and sisters, where we live, where we love, where we shop, where we're building our economic base, one rock at a time.
It is a 15,000 square foot warehouse of all the dry goods, fish, meats, produce, vegetables, waters, spices, and drinks you can imagine.
Not only are we selling produce, but we also have a media center in here. We operate our own radio program inside this very building. But we also have a trucking business. This is also an investment vehicle.
Not only am I an investor, I'm also benefiting from the dividend.
There are other black-owned supermarkets across the country, yes. But what's unique about this is that we've created the infrastructure. Folks from all over the world, very diverse workforce, taking care of that number one issue, which is feeding yourself.
We have different peoples. Everybody come here is black. And the unity that we get from them, it's beautiful.
Working at the ROC is so beautiful, it's a joy. We is all about unity.
For me, I wouldn't trade this job for nothing. Being here and being in the UNIA really brought me closer to understanding who I really am as a person.
It gives me nothing but joy and pleasure to actually work here, to actually serve our people. This is the place to be.
What would Mr. Garvey do? Ask for handouts, or would we do it ourselves? Well, the answer is the ROC.
We're not just selling groceries here. We're selling race first. That's all we've done. Belief in ourselves, belief in the race. So don't just call this place a black-owned supermarket. This is not just a neighborhood. What we're practicing here is nationhood.
Everywhere Mr. Garvey visits, he sees the same thing. Economically, socially, educationally, industrially, we are neglected, we are rejected, we are exploited. African people, black people, are universally oppressed due to race. And any solution to this condition, to this equation, must involve race, and it must be first.
For my brothers out there, race first.
All right, family. I am about to bring on royalty in the building, the leader of the UNIA. Let me get this together. Hold on one second. There we go. President General, how you doing today? And I'm going to try to edit the screen a little bit.
Everett, I trust all is well. I greet you in the name of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, the greatest man who ever walked earth. I thank you for this correspondence. These words I've been hearing, these are the conversations we have. We need to have if we're going to benefit, we're going to be of a benefit to our children and to have them progress forward under the banner of the red, black, and the green. Good evening, brother, and thank you for having me.
Thank you, President General. You on your phone, try to turn it the diagonal way. Let me see how that looks.
Try it. All right, let me see.
Yeah, let's see if that might work better. I want to make sure we get you good. There we go. That looks a little better. And hold on real quick and let me do this because I want the people to see you. We're getting really prepared for you to come to Baltimore, and it's going to be an awesome thing. Okay, that might work a little better.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
But we got you. We got you either way. You can go back to the other way. That might be better. Try the other way. Yeah. And thank you guys for your patience, family. We might have lost the president general. We might have clicked, so he's going to join us right back. You're going to really want to hear the power that this brother's going to come with. So we're waiting for him to log back in real quick. And then we're going to get everything going on this conversation. For those that don't know, we have a convention coming in Baltimore. It's the UNIA convention. And you're going to hear a lot of great people from all over, Chicago, Curacao, hopefully London, LA. So we're going to be really excited to introduce everybody. And I got them back on. Let's see here. Got you, President General. And so talk to the people a little bit about what's going on. But hold on, PG, we got to get them right because we got some people in the building. Hold on, I'm going to need them to do one thing for me. Hit that like button, family. Hit that like button. And if you're on YouTube, do me this favor. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get these likes and these clicks up. And I appreciate you all. Go ahead, President General. We were talking a little bit about the youth. And, it's getting warm and it's going to be a lot of problems in Baltimore City. And so we were trying to talk about, things and why they're that way, if that makes sense. And, what we believe in the UNIA is culture, it's organization, it's structure. It's our leaders not promoting and doing some of the things that they can do to make it better. What are your thoughts on that? And I'm not sure if you saw the beginning, we were showing a lot of the crime that's going on and things of that nature, the youth wilding out. I was taking the sense, yes, it is our youth problem, but I don't think it's just the youth. I think it's a little bit of parenting, but my main thing is I think there's not structure and unity in the things that we're doing in Baltimore, not just Baltimore, all over. There's a school they're trying to close that was building up for Black unity and things of that nature. Talk to the people a little bit about the UNIA and how we could play a role in it. But first of all, just start by talking about the problems with our youth today.
First of all, brother, are you able to see me clearly?
Yes, I got you. You're a little out there, but I'm gonna try to fix you on my end. But keep going.
Yeah. Yes, brother. Thank you, and again, thank you for having me. Brothers and sisters, you can judge a community based on what it does for its children. And we are the only people who allow our children to go into a school system that benefit by miseducating them and don't get involved. Of course, we should have our own school system to teach our own children. However, if that's not the case, then if we're not able to achieve that right now, then we should put systems in place where we're going to be involved every step of the way to ensure that our children are educated, to ensure that we put them on the right path, to ensure that we are servicing them and preparing them to deal with this future. You see, the system is doing exactly what the system is designed to do, to get our children in the prison industrial complex. So when they're looking to close these schools, close these institutions that are benefiting our children, they know if they keep these institutions alive, it means that they have less children, less of our youth in their system to continue this slavery government, this slavery way of life to benefit them. So it is not in their interest to keep any positive institution alive. Their system is to have them all die out. So our children will die out serving them. It's up to us to see what we want and we want to do. Mr. Garvey has left the Black Prince for us. And it's up to us to follow them and prepare for our children. Brother Everett, you have to realize that at the fourth grade level, it is determined how many prisons they're going to build to facilitate our children. The prison industrial complex is not for their children, it is for our children to continue the slavery way of life, who have built their empires all over the world. If we want that to change, we have to change it. We have to get control of these systems and control our children every step of the way. Our children are relying on us, and we haven't stepped up as black men to defend our children and to provide for them. That's why Mr. Garvey made the UNIA, and that's why the UNIA is still here. And under the ranks of the UNIA, forcibly we can see where we're able to plan, organize, and build for our children. So you have to realize that the system is working. And it doesn't matter if you're in Baltimore, Brooklyn, New York, Queens, New York, Chicago, Detroit, DC, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Wherever our people are, these are the things they're doing. They're taking away arts, they're taking away culture, and we just stand by and allow them. Brothers and sisters, we have to stand up as black men and defend our children, or else they're going to end up in the prison industrial complex, the new slave plantations. My dear brother, I'll hold it there.
I got you, President General. Your hand is a little over your camera a little bit, but we still got you. Yes. Man, that was deep there. I was a little frustrated, and a lot of people know, because I thought at one time for the school we were doing like social media things, like, but I
Yes.
remember you in the New York Post, and you were threatening to sue the Queen school system.
Yes.
Talk about how we have to stand up and fight when they're doing such a thing, and not lay back and talk about fighting and what you did in that situation. Because after I saw that New York Post video and the article, the next thing I know, you did a Zoom. It was like 100 people on the Zoom, councilmen, all kinds of people. Talk about how we need to do more of that to put pressure on the necks of our politicians.
Yes, we have to do it. And you have to realize that the reason why the politicians are not working, because we're not working. If we're organized as a group, everyone will follow. If you're not forcing people to listen to you, you're going to have to listen to them. So we're listening to our politicians who are advocating based on the powers that be. They're not advocating for our children. So in New York City, we were able to look in the school district here where we are, and we realized of the 29 schools, 28 of them were failing miserably. It wasn't working, so we decided to bring it to the forefront. We checked the grades and showed that the system was failing our children. But obviously, they're still failing them. They're designed for that. So, again, brothers and sisters, wherever we are, all it takes for us to organize, all we take it for us to come together under the banner of the UNIA or a similar group that's advocating for our children. And brothers and sisters, we have to sacrifice for them, because this system only recognizes numbers of people. If I am doing it by myself, they're going to laugh at me. They're going to laugh at us. But if us together, begin to do this and do it from a banner of strength, background of forcing the system to accommodate, to facilitate, to advocate for our children, they are not going to do it unless you, I, us, we together put it forward and pressure them to doing the right thing for our children. They have no benefit whatsoever in building our children's future. None, brother.
That was powerful, President General. Yes, and I guess that's the UNIA in me, to always want to fight. I was telling the brother the other day, I said, when they see that red, black, and green, it's like, we got to deal with them. You know what I mean? Talk about the
Brother,
solutions.
for a quick minute, here in New York City, after we did that and the pressure that we pressure New York City school system, at that point, the district was going to give me a contract. Prior to that, they were going to give me a contract to provide food. And after that, the contract was no longer, the contract was gone. After that, prior to that, I used to give out my flyers for my programs, all in the school system. After that, all the possibilities were gone. But it cannot be about anything we are getting. It has to be about our children. The solution, brothers and sisters, if your children are going to any of these schools, the first thing you have to do as an individual, just get involved. Go to the school. Go to the school and advocate for your children. As I said, we are the only people who allow our children in a school system that benefit by miseducating them and don't get involved. The monies are there for them, but our children are not benefiting. So the first thing we can do as individuals to get involved with the school system and be a part of it, help to make the decisions that going to benefit our children. And then after you have done that, join a group. Join a movement and advocate for the children at every level, at the school, at the elected official, and help to create programs. My soccer program, I couldn't tell you how many 16 and 17 and 18-year-old boys it keeps off the street. And now they are directed because they're in a soccer program that now they're seeing the red, black, and green. They're not only playing soccer, but they're learning black nationalism, black upliftment, and Garvey Garveyism. One confused sister asked Brother Doogie and I a while back, what does the red, black, and green flag has to do with soccer? It has everything. Everything we do Everything we do has something to do with everything that we're building. So, brothers and sisters, first, we have to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, am I doing enough to make a difference? If you realize the last two generations, our children are not doing as well as their parents. And it's because we haven't done enough for them. As I said, you can judge a community based on what the individuals, the community does for its children. Yes, brother.
That was powerful, President General. I'm just tripping off of the whole thing because first of all, it's a blessing to have you on the show. We have a
Yes.
lot going on. For those that don't know, we have our High Executive Council conference this
Yes.
week. This week coming in Philadelphia. We have the convention coming to Baltimore, and I'm just
Looking
excited
forward.
because yes, the people are going to meet you and they're going to hear from all of our leaders and things of that nature. Before I go to the next question, and a lot of people bother me about this. I don't want to ask you, but I'm gonna ask you. But before I go to that question and let you go, Brother Raymond would kill me if I didn't ask you these two things. Who's coming to save us, President General?
Brother, we have been waiting for the chariots. We have been waiting for everything to come, and it's not coming, brother. They're not coming for us. So we better get on our bandwagon. We better get on our red, black, and green. We better get on the movement that Mr. Garvey laid out, planned, built for us. Brothers and sisters, don't tell me you like Mr. Garvey. Don't tell me you revere Mr. Garvey if you're not continuing to build the movement and to support the movement that he built and left for us. They're not coming.
I say now, President General. And I don't want you to speak too much on this because you know you have soldiers that do this work. Tariq Nasheed, the brother, did Hidden Colors, and I used to love his work. But now he's saying all of these terrible things about calling African Americans foundational Black Americans, saying that we need to delineate from other cultures. he says some, and I went on the podcast and addressed it. He said some derogatory things about Marcus Garvey. Now, first of all, I told it on the podcast that you are a loving president general, because if you gave the orders, we'd be worried about Tariq. But you just say kill him with the knowledge. And that that we shouldn't be together. And he's always talking about Africans and Jamaicans and things of that nature. Talk to the people that are buying into this or hearing this, that the only solution is for us to be together globally, and just talk about what you think about some of the things he's saying.
But then the brother says confused, and we have to feel sorry for the brother. I have to say that maybe when I was about 14, being brought up in that slave state of Jamaica, maybe I would have thought a little bit like him, because I was brought up and being centered around Jamaica and Jamaicans. However, when I moved to this country at the age of 14, and I was able to see a brother or a sister from Louisiana, a brother or a sister from DC, a brother or a sister from Texas, it meant the world to me, because I started seeing people like myself, understanding that the brother who was born here in North America is not different from a brother who was born in Haiti. But what I got the benefit of reading the philosophy and opinion of the Honorable Marcus Garvey that let me know that I am not a Jamaican. I'm an African born in Jamaica. And
Go
that
ahead, PJ.
opened up my eyes, how I see my brothers. So when I'm seeing a brother who was born in Louisiana, I'm seeing myself. I'm seeing someone I love. I'm seeing someone who I want to work with. And I understand that the brothers who were born here in North America face the wickedest slave master. So I can't differentiate myself from the brother was born here or on the continent. And that brother, all we have to do with that brother is to show him a little love, because the brother is confused and all he needs is information. And all we have to do, we just have to show him the right way, because the poor brother is misguided. As I said, the greatest thing that happened to me, my dear brother, is me moving from Jamaica and to live here in North America. Because if I were still living in Jamaica, maybe I would have the mindset of this brother, where I'm separating myself from other Africans. But me living among other Africans here in North America, this is the greatest country on earth. But don't mistake it for a good country. The greatest for me is that I'm able to meet a brother or a sister, a black brother or a black sister, for all over the world. So let's forget this brother, work with him, teach him, and hopefully one day he will see the light.
Well said, President General. I told them that all we can do is hit them with the knowledge. But I did beware, you speak about Garvey, we're still here, and we're getting stronger and we're not going anywhere. And we love Marcus Garvey. We're his Cubs, we're his Garveyites, So before I let you go, President General, and I know everybody's going to be excited to see you in August. We're getting geared up. Talk to the people a little bit about when you first got introduced to Marcus Garvey. There's actually an interview. My granddaughter found it. I don't know how she found it. She was scrolling through YouTube, and you were talking about the Rasta man introduced you to Garvey, and then end on some information on the Faka Rock for these people that don't know about our grocery store.
Yes, Jamaica, Jamaica is a system that the British had a lot of influence over. So the British system did not like Marcus Garvey, and they talk about him. They told us bad things about us. But the Rasta man, through his teachings, through his information, through his education, most of us as little boys learn about Marcus Garvey. Through the songs that the Rastaman sang, we learned about Marcus Garvey. It's an older Rastaman when I was a boy who I heard constantly talk about Mr. Garvey constantly, and therefore they kept on pushing. So we have to push it each and everywhere where we go. So we continue. But the greatest thing we can do for Mr. Garvey is to do the work that he left for us. And the economic vehicle must play a role. We have to control the food. We have to control business. We have to own these businesses. And there goes the creation of the rock. The rock is not for me. The rock is not for you. The rock is for us. Each and every black person, whether you own a share currently, yes or no, whether you have activated your investment at this time, yes or no, the rock is the economic base for you and I to build for African people the world over. So all you have to do, brothers and sisters, if you don't live in New York City, anytime you are, just visit the Rock and see what Africans are doing for Africa. And through strong relationship like this, strong economic relationships where we are working together and we're building together, we can finance our future. Thank you. And Brother Everett, I want to tell you, it's an honor the day I met you and see what you have brought here to the UNIA. The love you have, the respect you have. You're a godsend. Garvey know what he was doing when he prepared you and sent you to join us. And I'm looking forward to coming to Baltimore. I can't wait, brother. Thank you so very much. And the brothers and sisters in Baltimore, I'm looking forward to eating with you, to sitting down with you, and enjoying the convention with you. Thank you.
Thank you, President General. And again, I tell everybody like a big brother to me. And actually, I'm Minister of Information because you approved me. So I
Of
thank you
course,
so
of
much. And
course.
my duty is to serve. So thank you so much. I know you're busy for just joining in, and I know everybody's pumped up to see you in Baltimore. And African Legion will be there this Wednesday in Philly preparing for you. So we got you covered.
Yes, yes, yes. So, brothers and sisters, finally, remember, chance has never yet satisfied the hopes of a suffering people. So, this problem that our children are having, brothers and sisters, just grab it by the horn and control it and ensure that it works for our children. One God, one aim, one destiny. Long live Marcus Garvey. Long live the UNIA.
All right, family. I had to switch mics. I don't know what's going on there, but we will get that together. And let me change that. Sorry about that. And again, if you didn't hear me, hit that like button. And hold on, we're going to have a little technical difficulties. What I'm going to do, all right, there we go. Seems like we back now. We are back now. All right, there we go. We are back now. I had to switch mics. So whenever we can get the President General, it's always a privilege and an honor. As you can see how we do it in the UNIA and its leadership, man, it's phenomenal. And you're going to be hearing speeches and things of that nature. So I'm going to play this video real quick. Because it looks like I'm freezing, see what's going on, and then I'm gonna go back with Brother Ori, and then Sister Narcissa, call back up. I'm gonna get you on next. Let me see what's going on real quick, family. Hold on one second.
I used to think vacations meant white sand and pool drinks, until I realized I was skipping my story. I've got 10 days to reconnect with my roots, or spend another year feeling like a tourist in my own identity. So I booked with Black Star Travel. They don't do tours, they build homecomings. Real connection, real culture, no filters. I thought I'd be the outsider, but the moment I stepped off that plane, I felt seen. They weren't just places, they were me I never knew I lost. Travel with purpose, travel with pride, travel with Black Star.
All right, there we go. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. It's been a minute. This is the first one back. I'm going to bring you back in, Brother Ori. I'm going to bring you back in. Hopefully you're still on there. Wanted to get some more input from you. And again, I ain't trying to be on all night, y'all, but definitely call in. This was an important topic. Tell me what you thought about the president in general. Sister Narcissa, click the link, join back in. I got you in, Brother Ori. You still there? Just unmute yourself and pull up your camera, Brother Ori, if you're still with us. And while we're waiting on Brother Ori or Sister Narcissa or anybody else that want to join, again, I'm posting that link in the YouTube outlets. Let me know if it doesn't go on Facebook. And I see we got 14 on, so it's getting a little late, but a little bit longer I stay on for y'all because this has been definitely an important topic that we've been discussing. And, it's real important because when we talk about our youth, they're our future. They're our future. They are the ones that, there we go. They are the ones that, provide the proper know-how, that's what we're here for. We're here for our youth. So we have to make sure that we're on it. We have to make sure that, that we're doing the things necessary to fight for our youth. Like Brother Ori said, he was introducing talking about the school for the collegiate school for boys. And we want to keep that school open, but we got to do a lot of fighting now. We got to do a lot of fighting. We got to do a lot of going and making some noise because we're running out of time. And the time is now. So we have to make sure that, not only do we fight, we have to make sure not only do we do some things that are proactive, we got to put pressure on people's necks. You know what I mean? We got to put pressure on people's necks. Thank you for that, brother, Dr. Sar. I did see him. I'm going to go through the comments real quick, and hopefully Brother Ori can come up. Dr. Sar said I was muted. We took care of that. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. And we got a guest coming in as well. Just a couple more comments. Cheap viewers, stream view. Don't know what you're talking about, idiot. Okay, I got you. And I'm going to bring in another guest. Lady President of the UNIA, Baltimore Division. Peace and blessings, my queen. Let me try to fix you up a little bit. See if I can do that. I apologize. It's been a minute since I went live, but we working. How you doing today? And tell me, how'd you like the show? You can't hear me? You can't hear me. I can't hear you. Can you hear me now? Come out and come back in. It might be you. Come out and come back in. It might be you because it looks like my mics are working. So come out and come back in because I can't hear you at all. And put it in the chat if you guys can't hear me. Put it in the chat. And I see Brother Ori. So LP, just come out and come back in. I guess you can exit out and come back in and try that again because I can't hear you at all. But people are saying that they can hear me. And Brother Ori said his line is jammed, so hopefully he can get up. All right, so let's do this. Let me do this real quick, family. All right, so LP, call back. LP, call back if you can. I'll do that, turn it off, and turn it back on. So hopefully you guys can join us. All right, looks like my mic is working, the good mic. Put it in the comments if you can't hear me. And I see Brother Ori said his line is jammed. If anybody wants to log in now before we get up out here, definitely come in. But also, just a shout out to the President General again for coming on. The convention is going to be powerful. Thank you, Dr. Daw. The convention is going to be powerful. You're going to hear from the leader of the UNIA. You're going to hear from people from Chicago, people from New York. I just talked to King OG, Sister Kaylee, rather, from LA. Los Angeles division is going to be in the building. And what we do is we send a bunch of these delegates to, and we talk UNI business. For those that don't know, we have a constitution. You know about the red, black, and green flag, but there's a pledge to that flag. There's a constitution to that flag, and we're the government for that flag. And we vote on things, and we make proposals and things of that nature. So we're going to be doing a lot of that, talking business during the day for all UNI members. If you like to attend, you must be a UNIA member first. So definitely, pay your membership, hit us up, unia106.org, unia106.org. If you're in the Baltimore area, or hit me up regardless, and we'll get you to the proper division. But then after that, if you choose not to join, if you're in another organization or whatever the case may be, we're going to be having events at night. So Dr. Daw, I know I talked to you, but here's how we're looking right now. For that Tuesday, August the 18th, I believe, we're going to have a meet and greet at Terra Cafe. So we're going to have a meet and greet at Terra Cafe the day before convention, which will be a Tuesday. So we all want to get out there and support our brother Terrence. Okay, Wednesday, all of our business meetings, everything's subject to change, but all of our business meetings will be at our home. People always remember from the Harlem. I talked to Sister Angela, so we working to get things back in order to be a presence in that community. And so through Wednesday to Saturday, all of our business meetings will be at the Harlem Theater right across from Harlem Park Middle School. That Wednesday night, and this could be subject to change, Michael Johnson, Brother Bill, we're looking at going to show the documentary of Marcus Garvey, the UNIA, and the history in Baltimore, now and present. That's going to be at Pikes either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm hoping. I got to get with Brother Mike on that. Wednesday or Thursday as well. And I talked to Brother Tony. We got to solidify some things. We're going to be at Next Phase Cafe. All of these are Black-owned spots. We're looking to have a performance by artist Abdullah, who's a positive conscious rapper. I'm trying to look for a couple of poets to speak as well. And you'll hear a couple of our leaders in the UNIA speak a little bit as well. So we're going to fellowship there. And then that Friday at TNET, we got to take something over East. At TNET, we'll be having a panel discussion. We're going to have a couple of UNI members and a couple of other people in the panel and talk about some important topics that affect us. And then that Saturday, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Red, Black, and Green Gala. Last time we had it, we lucked out. The first time was phenomenal. Dr. Jeffries came, his wife, everybody was there. The second time we had bad weather, but this is going to be the third one. So we're moving it from February to August. It's going to be the Saturday after the Marcus Garvey Festival. So you guys are definitely want to come for that. You guys are definitely going to want to check that out. We're going to be giving away UNIA awards for people that have received the Message to the People training or orientation. Hopefully they're in class now. Hopefully somebody can grind out and pass. We take a study seriously in the UNIA. We're going to be giving out awards for that. And then after that, it's dancing and partying. The next day, which is Sunday, we're going down to DC, and our DC division will host. And so if you guys aren't members of the UNIA, please hurry up and join. And that is what it is there. Phenomenal convention. And you'll definitely be hearing from our President General. And you're just going to love all of these people that are coming out to the UNIA. And again, this is our first show back. Sorry about the technical difficulties, man. It's been a minute since I've been on. I actually was trying not to go on for a minute, but everybody's been asking me, and I've been talking about these serious topics. I see Lady Prez says her internet was acting crazy over her house. She just moved. Don't worry about it, LP. Go through a couple of these chats real quick. What up, brother Sam? I got to get you on here so we can interview you about your book you got out. You know, brother Sam is a trainer. I can tell you some stories about Sam, by the way, but we won't go there. That's a positive brother now. Sam's in the church, training, getting people physically fit, and he has a book out, so I want to get with you on that, brother Sam. And it looks like I got everything else. Brother Ori said his internet was acting up, so he couldn't join us. And I think that's pretty much it. I think I got over all the chats. Last chance, if anybody wants to join, speak up before we close out, man. And again, thank you for joining. I'll let you guys know when the next podcast will be. And again, we're also streaming on UNIA Rock Media now. I'll try to get to the YouTube as well. UNIA Rock Media. We are streaming on. We should be live on there. So that's going to be good, you know, to support a black-owned platform. I know YouTube and everything's hopping and you can get paid and everything, but we still need our own black uniforms. You know what I mean? No one's coming to save us like the President General said, but us. And the only solution we feel is the UNIA to be Garveyites. I think I got all of you guys' comments, so if nobody else wants to tune in, I am out. Thank you, brother Shaka. Great bill, brother. I appreciate you. And yes, we got to do a good job with our youth. Thank you, Dr. Daw. By the way, check out Brother Saw's podcast. He's been going in on those FBA guys. And I know a lot of people think that we shouldn't go back and forth. You know, I don't have the time, to be honest with you. I'm barely trying to get this podcast back up and running. But we need people to first of all, defend Marcus Garvey. I'm always going to pop on that when he keeps running his mouth about Garvey. But we need people to educate the people that may follow him. This brother has a powerful platform. I mean, every time he puts out something, it's like 75,000, you know. So we need people like Dr. Saw to go at these people and kill them with intelligence. So I appreciate you, my brother. I definitely appreciate you. And thank you again. Keep them coming, Pro President. Yes. So, okay, Tashaka, if you still trying to get on, I'll wait for you, good brother. I think this is Tashaka. I think I sent you the link, but I'll send it to you again. I hope this is you, because I would love for everybody to hear you and speak. This is Tashaka Sancopa, I believe, from the Street Law Soldiers. So let me try to text you that link, good brother. I thought I texted to you. But if that's you, check your phone. And I sent you the link, and I'll try to hold on for 1 minute and keep doing that. Our youth are very, very, very important. For those that don't know, and I said it on Facebook, I mean, man, since my sons were five, I believe he's what, 28, 29 now. I've been coaching football and basketball, winning too, championships and stuff like that. When he stopped, I formed with one of my coaches, William Fitzgerald, a program called Team Rumble. So definitely check that out if you guys have kids. We accept all kids. Those championship days, they could be over, but we accept all kids. We just get them off the street, get them practicing 2 or 3 times a week, and get them playing on Saturday. They're so tired, they don't want to do anything. You see their grades going up and stuff like that. So, shout out to Team Rumble family. But the reason I was saying that is that's another outlet. Please, if you know anybody, I'm sorry, that's in the youth sports, the President General, one thing we have in common, he has a soccer program. If you know anybody that's in the sports, man, pat them on the back and ask them, do they need some help? Because when I was a coach football, I was coaching like 30 kids on a team. Basketball, you might have 8 to 12. But football especially, man, we're picking up kids all the time, taking them to practice and stuff, buying them food, things of that nature. And so it's very important that we make sure that we take care of those coaches. They're doing a phenomenal job with our youth. And we take that for granted. Basketball, my son got a full scholarship. He got his master's. He's trying to play basketball overseas a little. He's trying to be a sports agent, but he didn't pay for a daggone thing. So these coaches pick you up. Shout out to Coach Jarvis Thomas, Jamal Morant, Woodlawn Falcons. I'm sorry, they might be something else. Secret Society at Woodlawn. Now I apologize, but definitely you got football programs, Charm City, all of these programs, and our kids shouldn't be out there running the street. They shouldn't be out there running the street. Hold on, brother. Tashaka is on, so if y'all want to stay, I would appreciate it because this is a powerful brother here. Let me bring you on, good brother. Let me bring you on. See if I get you here. And let me try to edit your camera, good brother. How you doing today?
Oh, good, man.
Man,
Hold on a
it's
second.
crazy.
I gotta get
Take your time.
situated.
No, you good. What's crazy is you've been getting on me about this podcast as well, but I've been so busy, it's been a little difficult, but we here, good brother. We here.
Okay, give me a minute.
All right, take your time. Take your time. Just let me know when you're ready, and you're going to really want to hear from this soldier, powerful brother. And yes, brother Ori, I know you listening, good brother, and I know you went for the good fight, and I can't wait for you to meet the President General and a lot of these great people coming. And yes, one of the main things that brother Ori wanted to talk about was the collegiate school for boys. And I was telling a lot of the people that when we had the issue with our President General had the issue with the Queen school system and the Department of Education, the DOE, he threatened to sue him. We got to take it to that level. And if there's an issue with the school, help us with the issue. If it's struggling with what you would call improper grades or something like that, help us. But this brother's taking young black men from all over, doesn't matter what their grades are or whatever, and they're coming in early in the morning. What's up, gents? And they looking the part. I believe he was trying to take them to places like Africa and things of that nature. And so why would you close that school with all these problems with the youth? So that's some things that, really affecting brother Ori. It was really affecting Baltimore, especially for the people that know the owner of the school, the CEO, I guess, brother Edwin Advent. He's been really fighting. But you know what I say, we got to fight harder. We really got to make a stand. I say come down City Hall with them flags. I think they're going to Annapolis Monday. I don't think I can make that, but I'm going to try. So that's important. If you guys want to go to Annapolis and be heard, that's the first step. But you know what I mean? We got to kick that door in. We got to make sure we make some noise because and just let me when I see you in the coming in, brother Tashaka, I'll bring you in. Just let me know. Once I see you, I'll bring you in. But we gotta really, really fight. We really, really gotta fight. We can't just be out here saying, hey, we don't want the school closed. We gotta put the pressure to our city officials next. We gotta put our foot on their neck. I used to tell my football team, when we were playing, man, you gotta put your foot on the kid's neck and break it. I didn't mean it to be a harmful way, but we're dealing with that kind of brutality in the game of football, and we're dealing with that kind of brutality in the world. And so we really got to be strong, and we really got to be active. I see you there, good brother.
Yes, sir.
Race first, peace and blessings to you. Please introduce yourself to the people.
Yes, sir. I'm Chaka Sancopa, General of the Street Law Soldiers, Washington, D.C. The founder, creator of this organization, which its inception goes back to 2003, 2004. I have worked in youth rehabilitation, being a licensed substance abuse counselor, as well as a certified life skills instructor and youth advocate. And I have worked for the Division of Youth Rehabilitation Services for nearly 2 decades, and still working with our young people as well as our adults, working in halfway houses, group homes, shelters, the like. It's always a pleasure, and all as first and foremost, giving honor to the Most High and our beloved ancestors, as well as our prestigious, esteemed ancestor, Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. You all were talking about the youth in the community and some of the things that need to take place within our communities, with our and what we need to do to bring some type of structure as well as healing, because I had just came off my show at 6:00, and I was just talking about Africa Bambaataa, to be exact, and how it took those individuals who were violated by that man, how much hard for it takes a man to come forward and to talk about being violated by another man. So when we look at this, by dealing with so many youth, there are thousands and thousands of our young men who have been violated that fear of what somebody may think of them, being less than a man or whatever, and they hold on to that anger and that rage. And this is where a lot of this violence takes place in our communities. So one of the things we need to do with our youth is to be hands-on with them. And based on experience, a lot of them haven't had hugs, a lot of them haven't been given confidence, and a lot of them haven't been given any type of direction based on what the media projects of how we should look at our children, because they are our children. And so I think that, we all as a community need to be more involved with our children, instead of us having this mindset of individualism where we just focus on just our children and not the children. And so, when we begin to grasp the concept of we instead of I, then I think that when you harm one children, you've harmed them all, and we need to respond in such a manner where we can be proactive into the prevention of our children being harmed, because we only see the outcome of their rage and anger. We never get to the root cause of it. We never go to the sources. And that's one of the things that, that's plaguing us as a people. And we have allowed them to just, vent their rage and frustration, not just out on one another, but the community as a whole. So, we don't practice the village concept any longer. This country as a whole is a capitalist/socialist institution. We have incorporated a lot of selfish behaviors and mindsets. We imitate and emulate our oppressors, and you're going to have these type of results because we actually are so confused as a people. This is why everybody is, even the adults. When you spoke on the FBA and all of this type of division, our children look at that as just another form of set tripping and gangbanging. And which it really is. And no one wants us as a people. No one wants to work together. No one wants to just come to the table. Although we have the same situations, the same dilemmas, the same struggles, the same trials, the tribulations, the same povertized conditions. Our communities are, infested with drugs, assault weapons, poverty, vape stores, um, outdated food, rats, and we actually try to, play like we're exempt from these our realities, and we need to be hands on in every aspect. I know that some of the things that are plaguing us, in terms of our youth, is no vocational trade schools. They've been deprived the opportunity to become entrepreneurs. So they have been trained to just go to school, go to a HBCU, and learn to work for the oppressors, the same corporate structures and corporations that oppress us. We've been trained to just be good workers. In exchange, we get crumbs, and everybody else is being taught, and all the other communities and ethnic groups, they're taught how to be entrepreneurs. And so this is the thing I've been fighting for over 20 years, to reestablish trade schools, vocational schools, so our young men and women can be licensed cosmetologists, plumbers, electricians, HVAC, CDL, barbering, bricklaying, horticulture, landscaping, so they can become their own, have the opportunity and potential to become their own corporation. They can have their own businesses, and at the same time, they're able to go back into the homes, and they can take care of their children. They feel like men once again. But when these things are deprived of them, and then all they see is, shows like The Y and BMF and Power and all of these things, and then you got Medea and all this other stuff, Big Mama's house, and then you have you flood the community with cheap dope, lean, Molly, PCP, perks, chemically treated weed, and then the music that goes in, the music that coincides with that, drill music, trap music. Our youth are talking about their demons. They don't see themselves being 21, spinning the block with Dracos. See, all of this is by design. And so with that, you have the prison industrial complex. And so this is another form of slavery. So without guidance, without structure, without us being hands-on, without us being totally committed and fearless and being involved in our communities, these things will continue to manifest, and it's going to fester and fester and fester. And at the same time, we have these, a lot of people that are mentally ill, that are sick in these homes, such as the dirty stepfather, the nasty uncle in the basement, that violates them and breaks the souls of our children. So when they look at anybody in that age bracket, they have no problem eliminating or deleting them, because that's the anger and rage that they feel. I'm just giving you a psychological standpoint of the mindset of the youth, because and these things have to be addressed. Like the UNIA, you all are extremely active in the community. You all make your presence known. You provide social and economic events, social programs, grocery stores. And when they see people that the older G's, when they see the older sisters, when our young girls see the older sisters, that gives them hope. That lets them know that change is possible. That lets them know that somebody cares for them. That lets them know that somebody's in their corner. People willing to love them till they learn to love themselves. And so these concepts are extremely effective. And it's for the growth and development of the community, because our youth That's our military as well. Those are the people, if they are instructed right and get on a discipline regimen, they'll keep the community clean. They'll pick up all the trash, keep everything, and they'll be learning to beautify. Because that's how they feel inside. So everything in the environment, they will want to look like how they feel. So we don't need, we wouldn't have to worry about trash strikes and all of this stuff because our youth will be self-supporting as if the Panthers did. And, in the 60s, they were the human traffic lights. They walked the children to school. Then they had safety patrols. See, these things have to be implemented to make our youth feel like that they are a part of something, that they do belong, that they do count, that people do care about them. So these just some of the things that need to be implemented. Marcus Garvey had 6.5 million people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had enough people, if in due time, that would have responded, because you're talking about post World War I, where he had to deal with the Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Firestones, and then he had to deal with people that looked like him, Booker T. Washington and others, which they sit and glorify him, but he was the adversary. He was an op in terms of our growth and development as a people here. And we don't want to really deal with the truth of that either. Then you had the Nation of Islam. We had various groups that had military potential, but weren't around long enough or got dismantled to really get really active. And I'm not just talking about physically active. I'm talking about actually cracking the economic walls and penetrating the system of white supremacy for us to be able to do what we need to do, and grow, as a people, because we didn't have knowledge itself. You talking about, just a couple of decades out of physical and chattel slavery. And for someone to be able to have the power to mobilize at that level during that time is monumental, man. And it's really divine. It was really an energy sent by the Most High. So you all doing a hell of a job, really a hell of a job. And finally, the people that put the most work in, the people that come out their own pockets, the working class, the people that white knuckle every day, that take their time and try to make change in the community, are the least respected. They don't get the credit, they don't get the honor, they don't get the economic support. And they're the ones that put in the most work, but those who do nothing, that are gatekeepers, that are used as the face of youth rehabilitation, but produce nothing, no results, no progress in the communities, they are the ones that are financially supported and backed. But it's just the face, but I'm talking about the people in the trenches, that are the least recognized and supported. So I encourage you all, keep doing what you're doing, because we all know that the things that we're doing now, the work that we're put in, may not even manifest. And the next 2 generations, it probably would take for them to grasp on what we've laid down. But if we lay down the seeds, if we plant those seeds, and they will be the ones that will cultivate those seeds. And so that's our job. We don't expect to see a total transformation in this lifetime. But if we lay the seeds down, and give our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren more liberation than your work is done. So, I encourage you all to continue to do what you're doing because it is very, very important. And it doesn't go unnoticed or unrecognized by the ones that are putting in the work.
I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you for coming on, and actually, thank you because you've been getting on me about going back to the podcast and jumping on podcasts. We're like, man, I'm so busy. People kept bothering me, and I said, all right, Tashaka, I'm jumping on. What time you going on? You was like, I go early, brother. Just jump on. So I just appreciate you, man, and everything you do. You always supporting the Baltimore UNIA, and we respect you so much, man, because sometimes we need people to, be straight shooters. We need soldiers. Being a soldier is different than being a politician. We need politicians and we need soldiers. I'm not sure if you were on when I was talking to the president general. There's certain things we don't want him to even have to get involved with. That's what your soldiers are for. Let us deal with all of that crap and you worry and focus on uniting our people. And let us do those little small battles for you. And man, you a soldier. And whenever you need me, I'm there, man. I definitely appreciate you. You was dropping some gems. I didn't even know that you worked with the youth like that, but then I probably did. I'm so busy and we be rapping at like events and stuff. And it was blessed to give you an award. People don't know you were the speaker at a convention at not a convention. I'm sorry, at a gala, the RBG gala this year. So we always and I've been following you and watching how you move for a minute. And like I say, sometimes when we speak to people, people used to be uncomfortable when I coach my football and basketball team. They'd be like, "Yo, you going at these kids like that?" Well, the kids that I coached were those kids are kind of street kids. You got to talk to them at a level that they're going to understand you and, that they can relate to you. I can't be like, oh, my golly, wow, make the layup. I'm like, yo, you got to make the effing layup. Like, what are we doing here? Because for some of these kids, those hours that you have them are critical in molding them to be men. And I always tell people, I may not be the coach for your child. I need a certain kind of kid, but I'm saving kids and lives. And sometimes when we talk to our people, and I hear you getting on them all the time, we gotta be straight shooters with our people, and that's what I love about the UNIA sometimes. People don't know, I get in those rooms with the President General, First Assistant President General, always our Secretary General. And when nobody's looking and when nobody's aware, I'll get that come here, brother. We all have to be checked, and that's a good thing about the UNIA, that structure and foundation. Sometimes I go a little off, and I gotta be real back in, but that's also what family's for. But we always gotta be straight with our people. So I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you so much, and just in general, being a good brother.
I'm who I am. Period. I say what I say. I don't regret anything. I don't take anything back. I'm not changing. I'm not wetting nothing down. And for people who don't know, Marcus Garvey was the same way when he spoke at that Longshoremen's Hall in Louisiana, and they came and they attempted to arrest him. The whole UNIA stood up and clicked guns and rifles, primarily the women. So, I mean, I like to. I just like to be real, man. I don't hide my history because what I went through got me here. And people need to hear, this stuff without it being watered down, and we have to, talk to people a certain way, and and most of the people that say that, they use that as an excuse not to be responsible. So it's too much cussing and all this, but you grew up around that.
Right.
Use all types of profanity when you're having sex. You do all of that. You sit there and watch Power. You sit there and watch The Wire. You sit there and watch same-sex scenes and Tyler Perry movies, but then you have a problem with the truth. So I really don't pay that no mind, man. Our energies are, your energy is your energy, man. The ancestors chose you, handpicked you to put you in that position, you know, and the way you convey that information and how they talk to you and through you, that's your journey. Mine's is a little more difficult, you know. I don't mind going on nobody because I can stand on what I say, you know, and it's just the truth. My job is to ridicule those who look like me and who don't look like me, make people laugh at them, humiliate them to the core, but at the same time, tell the truth about how they are a detriment to the growth and development of our people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you, Tashaka. Please tell everybody about your podcast and when you're going live again so they can check you out.
I just went off, you know, a little while ago because I was
So you
trying to
going
catch you.
sporadically. Sometimes you be going on. Man, I was trying to figure out how to get this thing back up and running. You know, it's different when you play with it and then when you go live. And then we were streaming the UNIA Rock Media. So I had to take some time to just figure out what I was doing. I couldn't even jump on anything. I barely made it on time, but I made it on. But you go
Just
on like
stay
all the
consistent.
time, right?
Usually Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But sometimes
Okay.
if something comes up, I'll come on a different day. And but I'm telling you, brother, stay consistent. Stay consistent, man.
I'm gonna try, man. Everybody been getting on me, but you know, I looked up and I was like, man, I haven't did a podcast in like a couple years. It just seemed like the other month. I'd be like posting my YouTube and stuff, but you know, I'm gonna try to stay consistent because the time is now. We need to hear the information and if we all support each other platforms, that's what Marcus Garvey talked about. People don't know that's one of our lessons for leadership is propaganda. You know, and I actually got to speak on that at in Philly this week. Shout out to Sister K. But Lady President in Philly wants me to speak on a panel discussion about propaganda. But that was one of Marcus Garvey's things. You know that we got to have our own outlets. And the more that we start pushing your show, I guess, Real Truth and Power, UNIA Rock Media, Dr. Daw, Brother Dennis Assar Winkler's channel, we can get good information out and get rid of this nonsense. Somebody said something. Hold on, Tashaka, before you roll. No time. It's 5 time hitting roll up of sleeves. I hear you, Lady Prez. And Dr. Assar is asking you, what is your station? What's your podcast on?
It's Tashaka Sancopa, Tashaka with a T. It's on Facebook.
Okay.
It's on
Tashaka
Facebook.
with a T.
Yeah,
Tashaka with a
yeah.
T, Sankofa.
Yeah, Tashaka Sancopa.
I got you. All right, my brother. I appreciate you. And
likewise,
we'll be in touch. And hit me when you need me. I'm gonna jump on your podcast and shout out. It wasn't brother UNIA brother Conwado's birthday today.
Yeah, today. Yeah, we gave him his honors, you know. But yeah, I sent him the link for him to tune in, but he might be out on the town tonight down in ATL. But when I went on at 6, we gave him his just due, man.
Good. I gotta get with them for convention. They need to bring them umbrellas back down here, man. I got the baddest umbrella from him. That umbrella's red, black, and green is bad.
I got 2 of them. Yep.
Yeah, I gotta get another one. All right, good brother. We about to close out if no one wants to jump on, but I appreciate you as usual.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all as always. An honor and a pleasure, brother.
You know it. Race first.
Yes, sir. Race first.
All right, family. If no one else wants to jump on, going once, we're gonna close out. I did realize why I don't like doing these podcasts is y'all be having me on late at night, especially when we got a good topic. But that's always good. Just to do a brief preview of the show. Man, we had hold on, we got a visitor. Hold on, let me see who's calling. Get back into the interview screen real quick before we close out. And bear with me, y'all. Our agriculture coordinator of the UNIA, Sister Mishan, what's up with you? Hold on. Unmute yourself. I can't hear you. See if you muted. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, she's going to try to come back on. And you guys want to hear from her. This sister has a beehive in her yard and chickens.
Can you hear me?
We got you. I was just telling them, you got the beehive in your yard and you got
Yes.
chickens. They laying eggs. And we working on getting and it's a black peppercorn garden, but we're working and using that to get our Liberty garden.
Yes.
I spoke to a sister at Morgan. They have a greenhouse, and we're going to try to get with them. But thank you for joining us. And I know you heard what you on when the President General was on.
Yes, I was impressed.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. But go ahead, let us know what's on your mind.
Oh, President Everett, everything is well. I just wanted to let you know that what he was stating about the youth, and we need to do something to keep on going, doing the things that we're doing. So I wanted to say something like, I'm going to continue doing the youth program. I know that it's going to go further. I can imagine it being worldwide. And now that you guys are part of our team on Tuesday, and they're welcome any Tuesday of the month. The UNIA comes in, they share their information, videos, books. They read books to them. Since I've started with the program, they've been a partner with me, and President Everett, Brother Shaw, Brother Dwayne are really advocates for my program, and I can just appreciate them for being there, and for President Everett to show up, knowing that he's very busy, to come and support it, and then educate our children on the UNIA and Marcus Garvey. And I'm overwhelmed for the support that I do get. As far as Black Peppercorn Garden is expanding, I have a garden now. It's the Garden of Hope at Sweet Hope Free Will Baptist Church. They didn't have one, now they got one. And I'm maintaining that garden as well. And hopefully we'll have gardens all around the city, and not only in different churches, but the UNIA gardens all around the city, because that garden is going to help us with our grocery store. We're going to be bringing in fresh fruits and vegetables, and it's what we grow. So we're going to be the producers and and provide it to our grocery stores all over the United States. So that's my vision. That's what I see, and I'm just grateful for the partnership. Truly grateful.
We appreciate you. People don't know, when I first started my podcast, you was one of my first interviews. Shout out to my man Jason Taylor. He's like, I need you to interview this sister. She's on
Yes.
healthy eating. But
Yes.
and then getting into the UNIA and hearing you, I know that I'm trying to save as much. I didn't want to give too much out, because I wanted the President General to speak about the farm in Liberia and our farm in Curacao and the restaurants and things of that nature. But we got time. We'll save that for Baltimore. We got time.
Yes.
We want to hit them.
Yes.
We want to hit them slowly. But let them know, first of all, talk about your program, the FEED program, Friends Enjoying Eating Together. What inspired you to do that, and what got that going?
Well, gentlemen, I went. I used to attend this church called Ray of Hope, and Joe Mann saw that I always would bring my niece to church, and he says, "Can you do me a favor?" He says, "Tell Maria I want you to bring her friend to church on a Wednesday." And I said, "Okay, Joe, what you trying to do?" He says, "Well, it's going to be called Friends Enjoying Eating Together." I was like, "What?" And when we started, it started from my niece bringing her neighbor, and then there was some children at the church, and we had maybe 6 or 7 children, and we would come there, we would bring food, we would do crafts and activities, and this was 7 years ago, and now I'm no longer at the Ray of Hope. That partnership ended. I started doing it at my house for about 5 months, and something led me to do it at Sweet Hope. And I told the pastor, said, listen, if I bring my program there, what's going to happen is those people that live across the street from the church are going to join your church, because now you're pouring in and they're going to see it. And since I started there at that church 2 years ago, 3 families that live directly across the street from the church have joined, and it's grown. We started off with I would say 7 children that I bring. I'm now bringing 13 children every Tuesday. I have to make 3 stops before I get to the church. So I'm uniting Northeast Baltimore with Northwest Baltimore, and we're also connected with the Smithsonian, the UNIA, and the Girl Scouts of America. So with this connection, we're growing, and they might not be in name the Garvey Cubs, but they are the Garvey Cubs. I can say the feed program were the first Garvey Cubs
That's
that
right.
started.
You're right. You're right. Right. That
I
is
can
true.
say they were the first
That is true.
Garvey Cubs because they've been there since I started
Yes.
with the
They
UNIA,
were
and I
going.
told
They were the
the
first kids to
president,
go hiking with us. They were the first
yes,
kids to go hiking with us and everything.
absolutely. And Brother Shaw read the books to him. You guys talked about Garvey. It was at the feet program. So I'm going to say they're the first ones. And this set that we just did are the next ones coming in. So we've been doing
Yes.
this for a minute. So
That's
it
right.
didn't
That's
just
right.
start just overnight.
That's right.
They've been working on it, but we just didn't know where it was going. But now we know what direction it's going in. So I can honestly say that we are pointing to the youth. The goal is to keep them off their phones for at least an hour and a half and to show them to believe in themselves. Um, if you realize a lot of the songs today don't tell children to believe in themselves anymore.
That's
Don't
right.
tell them to go out there and make the best out of what you have. Even though you might have started, take that grief, take that hurt, that pain, and turn it into something. And yet these children don't know that. I can honestly say this generation, the parents have poured into it. I'm one of them. I poured into my niece, and it's gotten to the point where they don't want to do anything, and it's because we have to give them more direction. Um, they think everything needs to just come to them, and we need to show them that you got to work for everything that you want, and that it's nothing wrong with trying something and failing at it, and just keep going. And that you have a lot of creativity. But right now, because of the cell phones, it's taken away from the children, and their cognitive thought is not being developed. So I'm trying to regain that by teaching them how to garden. We have a weather station at Sweet Hope. Again, the UNIA coming in, letting them know that to believe in themselves, that you are Garveyite. Don't you know how special you are? The color of your skin is more than just being black. It's more to that.
That's
So
right.
just that combination alone is a unique one. So I'm grateful to it. I know that we're going to even go further with it. It's like a blank canvas. It's a blank canvas for us.
Go
Anything that
ahead.
we execute, anything that we say we're going to do, trust and believe me, it's going to get done. We don't be doing too much talking. Trust and
That's right.
believe me, it's execution is what we
That's
do.
right.
So, and I'm
But
all about
before you
that.
close out though, talk about your garden because
Oh,
I'm always talking about. I know you're not gonna be able to make Philly, and I'm gonna talk about it again in Philly. So every day, like, are you serious? So we're gonna have. Hopefully, we have our own by then. It's gonna be hard. I'm pushing. I've been, they're giving away lots. I'm talking to a bunch of people. But
okay.
talk about your garden. You got not only you got chickens laying eggs, a beehive, and plants all over. You even got a
Yes,
pond with fish. Talk about
yes,
that real
indeed.
quick for the people. And by the way, I'm
Okay,
sorry. This is our agriculture coordinator of Division 106, UNIA. You see the work we doing in the name of the Honorable Michael Duncan, UNIA, the official UNIA. I'm sorry, I'm getting pumped up. I'm about to eat.
yes,
Go ahead, go again.
yes. So I started gardening 26 years ago, and it was just a little patch in the back. And my journey was through. I had gotten sick, and I didn't know what was going on, but something told me to start working in my garden, and that's what I did. And I took that from a little plot in the back, and I've expanded it to my total yard. Like Everett said, President said, I really have 12 hens. Well, I've got 8 hens. I've got 4 chicks upstairs that'll be laying eggs in August. I
That's
did, and they're
crazy.
gonna have I have all melanated shells, all
Mm,
different shades of brown. And now I've got the green and blue shell. They're called Easter eggers. So I did get those. So I have 4 more. I'll be harvesting my honey in May. And hopefully one day it'll be in our grocery markets, the UNIA. I started the hive last year along with the hens. It's really not hard. Like again, I don't talk much. I do an execution, and now I've got every herb that you can imagine. I grow um, berries, seeded grapes, um, blueberries. I grow every type of herb, every vegetable that you can imagine. You can just come here and get it. And what I'm doing this year, it's more like a nursery. So I'm doubling up what I normally grow, so I can make sure that the garden at Sweet Hope is prospering like it should be to get it started,
Right.
so to continue. And I've got eggs galore.
My
I,
wife
I
says
just
she needs eggs.
Yes, I'm going to give it to her. But just know that I'm doing all of this to get prepared for our market. Because, see, I believe in the UNIA. I believe in President Everett. I was there from the beginning with this brother, y'all.
I
And
appreciate you.
just seeing the elevation, just knowing that we're going to have that market, we're going to have our building, we're going to have our farm, and I'm going to be a part of all of that. So listen. I clap for President Everett. I clap for the UNIA. I know where we're going. It might be some people to come and go, but I'm in for it for the long haul because it's not about where we start. It's how we're going to end and continue ending each and every one. Every
Hey,
store,
I got a
we
quick story real quick before you get
we
off.
going.
You called me one day because I was the secretary then when we started
Yes,
press, and you called me. He was like, I got to call you back when I asked you to join. He said, I had to talk to my family. They say I can be a little crazy. So I'm gonna let you know I had to think about this or pray on it because when I'm in, I'm all in. And I'm gonna be a little crazy, but and I was sitting
yes,
back like that just sunk in real quick. And then you wind up being our lady president, then was like, I want to do something that I'm passionate about. You were our first
yes,
lady prayer. Shout out to Mama Earth, our second. And then you said I want to do agriculture, and we've been just rolling, And
yes,
like I said,
yes,
I
yes,
always say, and people don't know, I take the model from our President General and Sister Brenda and Brother Raymond, our first assistant president, Brother Raymond, and third assistant president Asa and everybody, Brother John, Brother John and President Ross at the time. That with family.
yes,
And when you dealing with your family, it's different because you can have wars and you can challenge each other, and you're gonna wake up the same day in your family, and we're gonna get that work done. So I definitely appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you. Looks like we. Oh, I thought we
thank
lost
you.
you. Yeah. So I
No,
look
no, we're
forward to
good.
getting to. I think I'm due Tuesday because this week was the first Tuesday. So I'll
Yes,
see
it
you
was.
Tuesday. I'm gonna try to play that movie for them, that Mel Trek by Dr. Mott. I hope they like it. So I'm gonna play
Uh,
that. Shout out to her because she came out one day as well to see the
That's a good
kids.
day. Any day you guys show up, it's still good, no matter what it is. It don't even
I,
that Tuesday is just wonderful. Any Tuesday
yeah,
you show up is good for me. You just need
I
to
got you.
understand all the support that I can get, and just the connection needs to stay connected.
No
So
doubt, no doubt.
and I appreciate you so much. I really do.
I appreciate you. And we went hiking Saturday too. That was crazy.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. All right,
Yes, we
Sister
did.
Mishan, I'll talk to you soon. Let me get up out of here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
Race first.
President. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Race First.
Race first. All right, family. That was our agriculture coordinator. Um, and you can just see all the work we're doing in Baltimore, how excited everybody is. You got to hear from the leader of the UNIA today, which was just definitely powerful. And it's always a blessing to have our President General speak. But I'm gonna let you know you're gonna hear a lot of them in August. And you're gonna hear some phrases that's gonna be hard, like you're a Garveyite, a parasite. And you're gonna hear him give some direction to the soldiers. So we at a strong point right now. And if I wanna end on this, and a lot of people are asking for solutions. The UNIA is the solution. So definitely check us out. I'm gonna let you guys know when I go again. If you like Fridays, I try to do every Friday. But not next week. I'm not gonna go on next week. I'm not gonna go on next, maybe Sunday. Um, but every time I go on, we stay on for a while. So, and again, before you guys close out, I need y'all to do me one favor. Make sure that we did this right. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Let me do it this one. This is better. I like it. I've been working on my AI stuff, y'all. I've been working on my AI stuff. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button, please, if you're on YouTube. I got another check coming. You don't get kick you out like $100. I'm like 40 something. It must have been sitting there for months. And if you're on Facebook, Twitter, wherever else, Instagram, do me this.
Smash it now!
Hit that like button, family. All right, the Real Truth and Power podcast, our first time streaming the Rock Media. I hope it came out good. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but again, I haven't went on live in 2 years and such. So I promise I'll try to stay more active. We'll get better. Remember, UNIA Rock Media, UNIA Rock Media, and as we start them again, and we always end. Real Truth and Power, health, wealth, knowledge, and self, and of course, race first. Convention 2026, President General Michael Duncan. We out of here.